the WCFFL Playoff Show 2021. Let's take a look at the standings. We have Killbot, White Sox, Kyle Pitts at the top, locked in for the playoffs, all fighting for the bye week. Volunteers and the Wolves eliminated from the playoffs. Merry Christmas, staying alive. And then we have Grayson, Luigi, Kyle Ball, Dylan, Keith. 5 teams vying for 3 playoff spots. Shelly Meyer Support Group and the Cold Cut Champs in the Driveway Bowl this week, and Marshall Street Minutemen facing off against Naked Sunday. That means if any of these teams win, they're going to the playoffs. Let's jump into it. Naked Sunday versus the Marshall Street Minutemen. We've known Grayson's team the whole season. Hot and cold, but when they're hot, and it's been more fairly consistent. I think sometimes the WCFL media's give him credit for. Jacoby Myers in the flex, having said all of that. On Kyle Ball's side, Tom Brady and Eckler, I think, were the only people he's drafted. Other than that, he has DJ Moore in the flex. Kittle's Kittle. D-Hop and Stephon Diggs. If it was 2 years ago, we'd be calling this the best team in the history of all time. Now, Kyle Ball's path, forget his points for, forget everything else. Kyle Ball's path is simple. You gotta win, and he's gotta get in. Otherwise, lose, and he's out. Marshall Street Minutemen has a little bit of insurance. If Grayson loses, Merry Christmas could bail him out with a win versus Joy Taylor Sweaty Buns, and Grayson will go to the playoffs. Otherwise, unbelievably, in a fairly sad fall from grace, if Joy Taylor Sweaty Buns, as projected by ESPN, beats Merry Christmas, if Grayson loses, Grayson will go to the consolation. Jordan, White Sox 94 versus Looks Good on Paper. If John wins and Kyle DeMarini wins, John will end up with the number 1 seed. If I lose, John will be the number 2 seed. Either way, if John wins, he's getting a bye week. If John loses and I lose, he's going to be number 2 with the bye week. And if I win and John loses, John will be going to the playoffs. For Looks Good on Paper, not much you can do. So we'll see if IU can play well. For Jordan White Sox, Justin Herbert, McCaffrey, this team's been here before. I would be surprised if this game is close. I mean, you got to say it looks good in paper. Did beat the Killbot last week. Could this be the start of something? Who knows? I wouldn't really bet on that at all. I'm more closely looking at if John wins and whether I win and who ends up with the bye week. Merry Christmas versus Joy Taylor Sweaty Buns. Nick Chubb coming back for Cleveland in a revenge game against Detroit. A.J. Dillon stepping up for a hurt Aaron Jones. On Nick's side, he's got Edwards-Helaire and Saquon Barkley slated to start. Devontae Adams, we know what he's going to bring to the game. This game, very interesting, a lot of playoff implications. Both Luigi and Grayson, if they lose, will need Merry Christmas to win. Jack Duffy, regardless of anything that happens, needs Merry Christmas to win to avoid playing Jack Dinkbutter in the toilet bowl. For Joy Taylor Sweaty Buns, very simple. Win and you're in. Lose, go into the consolation. High Street Wolves versus Dan Tennessee Volunteers. Kirk Cousins. You're looking at Joe Mixon and Adrian Peterson and Steve. On Jack's side, Jalen Hurts, Devonta Smith, Kelsey, Brandon Cooks back. So basically, Jack Duffy needs to win, and he needs Merry Christmas to win, or he's going to the toilet bowl. He needs to win, or he needs to win out Sweaty Buns to win. He's got to go to the toilet bowl. You're coming down Copeland School Road. It's the Driveway Bowl. Cold Cut Champs versus Shelly Meyer Support Group. 1 driveway, 1 winner. One of the best rivalries in sports. Loves Keith's team all year. He's got James Robinson. He's got CeeDee Lamb. Hunter Renfrow and Emmanuel Sanders, wide receivers. Reminds me of my team. I love it. Eagles D. Come on, you got to root for him. On Luigi's side, he's sticking with his running backs. Jacobs and Singletary. He's got Tyreek Hill. He didn't make any moves on the waiver wire to replace his tight end. Logan Thomas might be able to go, but it's going to be a tight game. It always is. So everyone in the league is going to have their eyes peeled to this game. Keith, simple path. Win, and he's in. Lose, he's going to the consolation. Considering that he was on the verge of the toilet bowl just weeks ago, very impressive comeback regardless. For Luigi, it gets a little bit more complicated. He wins, and he's in. If he loses, he's going to need Merry Christmas and the Marshall Street Minutemen to win. If Nick loses to Dylan or Grayson loses to Kyle Ball, Luigi will go to the consolation. So this is pretty much a must-win game for both teams. It's the Driveway Bowl. You're not going to want to miss it. Kyle Smelly Armpits versus the WCFFL Killbot Incorporated. Daryl Henderson and Tyler Higbee on the Rams on a bye. That's a huge story. Of course, Henry out. DeAndre Swift been playing well, but now Detroit has two other running backs that get like 10 fantasy points. Very interesting development. Josh Allen, Zeke, John Taylor, Lockett, Landry, Kyle Pitts, Michael Carter. Whoa! Patriots D on a Thursday. We will see. I'm kind of scared of Atlanta. I hope that doesn't screw me. But playoffs pretty simple. If I win, bye week. John loses, I'll be the number 1 overall seed. If John wins, I'll be the number 2 overall seed. John beat me. If I lose, number 3, I'll be in the playoffs. If Connor wins, bye week, number 1 overall, WCFF fucking Killbot. If Connor loses. If John loses, interestingly, he'll be the number 2. Remember, he beat John a couple weeks ago. That will give him the bye week. If John wins, he'll be the number 3 in the playoffs. So a lot of implications in this game. Top-tier football. I'm excited. I'm fired up. So let's quickly reiterate. I need to win to get a bye week. John and Connor need to win or have the other one lose to get a bye week. Keith, Dylan, and Kyle Ball need to win to make the playoffs. Grayson and Luigi can still make the playoffs if they lose this week, but they both need Merry Christmas to win, and Luigi would need Grayson to lose. And to keep the commish out of the toilet bowl, the Wolves need to win, and Merry Christmas needs to win as well. Ho, ho, ho. I'm going to pass it over to DeMarini.
DeMarini's Transaction Corner, presented by Sun.
Keith dropped Young Goku out of Dan Arnold. Kyle Ball dropped out of Benjamin down to Brandon Z. John dropped Teddy Bridgewater and Tyson T. John dropped Tyler Heineke and Randy Bullock. Keith dropped Sammy Watkins, added Deontay Freeman. John dropped Jamal Williams, or dropped Mason Crosby, added Jamal Williams, but then he dropped Jamal Williams, added Vikings D. Nick dropped Trevor Lawrence, added Jamal Williams. Joy Taylor's Funny Buns, a.k.a. Dylan, dropped Mark Ingram Jr. and added Robbie Anderson. Kyle Ball dropped Colts D, added Cam Newton.
That was DeMarini's Transaction Corner, presented by Sanoka.